because of my life that I lived, the anger that I had, the extreme drive that I had, it caused problems to where one of my arteries, main arteries to my heart, was about 99% shut down. So literally my heart was closing down. Fortunately, I was able to get that opened back up by a very talented physician, and it set me off on a journey of my heart, which is very new to me. I lived my whole life from my brain. I never really knew I had a heart beyond a pump that pumped blood in my body. I'm James Lyons. I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona, United States. My professional life, I'm a physician. Came to the first 2 weeks of Tapas back in July, and I didn't really want to come, but my life had led me to a point where I really needed to come. Had a laundry list a mile long why I shouldn't come, and thankful for a few people, including a few Tapas, who let me know this was the right place for me, and it was the absolute right place for me to go. Before I came to Tapas, I had really looked and searched a lot, and I'd gone through a lot of issues, and a lot of the medications I were on were making me feel really horrible. And I was suffering immensely from the way I felt. And even though I'm a physician, I never really understood that you can separate the problem from the suffering. It just transformed me completely. I mean, I was holding on to things, everything in my life, so tightly. And I was able to release everything, including my life. And by doing so, it didn't make sense at the time, but all of a sudden I became more connected than I've ever been to my family on the other side of the world, my friends, my life, my job. I became connected. It's something I never had been before. And because I was disconnected, I always missed things, and I always longed for things. And since then, I actually don't miss anything. And when you do this, it affects everyone around you. It's not just you. So this is for you, but it's also for everyone you know in your whole soul circle. In my profession as a physician, I treat a lot of people who have lifestyle illnesses. And I used to judge that a lot. And I used to get angry about it. And all of a sudden, when I went back to work after Tapas, the first 2 weeks, I didn't realize until now that I really wasn't even thinking about their lifestyles causing that. I was taking care of them, what they needed. And before, I didn't care what they had to say. I cared about their illness, and I was very mechanical about it. And when I went back, automatically I cared more about their suffering than their illness. I still care about their illness, and I wanted to help them out and take care of their issues from a minor surgical procedure or major surgical procedure. But the beautiful thing about it was they started opening up and talking to me because I gave them space to do that. My state was different, and so I didn't have to even talk to them about their lifestyle. They just started telling me about it, what was going on. And in those conversations, a lot of people kind of told me why they were doing the things they did, and it really helped me to understand that, like, the judgment I had against them, there was good reasons why people do the things they do. And I felt like as a physician, I was never really taught that. You know, we didn't really know how to separate the suffering from the illness and realize that people are trying to get through life. And the way they take care of their suffering is through a lot of things that are damaging to their body from the moment it takes care of them. And I was able to really connect with patients better. Part of what I do is I read x-rays, I read CT scans, ultrasounds. Before Tapas, I just looked at the images and I gave a diagnosis. After Tapas, I looked at the name first. And then I would, if the person's name was Joe, I'd go, okay, Joe, what's going on with you today? And I would look at the images, and I still do that to this day. Not 100%, but pretty close. And that's how I read every x-ray now, which is very different than before. I was just flying through the list, trying to get through the work, and didn't really connect. And so Because I know now that connection's not just because we're standing next to each other or I'm looking at you. I know now that it's a much broader connection, and we can all connect. And once you know how to do that and feel like that through these lessons you learn here, it comes pretty natural. This week so far, which I'm going to be really enjoying, is to be able to not really care about being right anymore, and not having that war that goes on because of judgment and making things right or wrong, and not always trying to hold on to things that are going good and worried that they're going to go away, or if there's something that is going on that is causing suffering, to worry that it's always going to stay there and never go away. So that's this week for me. It's a huge thing. I spent my whole life in this duality self. Everything that I did was a choice of right or wrong, good or bad. And even though I started working on it before I even got here, this week I've worked a lot on it, and things that I haven't thought about in 40 years were coming up. That in the effort of being right, I cause suffering not in myself but also other people. And I was able to, in the processes, to really move beyond those things that were really just very heavy on me. And I felt much lighter after that. Whatever they tell me to do, I do to the best of my ability. And because of that, I'm getting the results that are really remarkable to me. And I think that's the thing for me, is that whatever, I don't care if it's stand up, sit down, dance, chant this, chant that, I just do it. And my wife would tell you that I was never like that. I basically didn't listen to anybody. I knew the answers, right? So being here and humbling myself and doing everything they say is really, it's changed everything for me. No, it's just been great being around people that are going down a path together, because so often in life we don't have that. We're around so many people that have just basically, going in different directions. But it's so nice to be in a group of people who are really trying to do something, not just for themselves, but for the whole world. And quite frankly, I don't know if there's any other thing on the planet right now that's happening that could save the world versus something like this. And this literally has that opportunity. And guys, God knows we need that.